What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to be looking at another Megazord from my collection, this time the Power Rangers Mystic Force Titan Megazord from 2006. So this is a pretty cool sword from Mystic Force, which I liked overall, having all like the magic and wizards and mystical creatures. And so we get that represented here in our Titan Megazord, which is kind of, I feel, weird name. Usually it'd be like Mystic Force Megazord or something along those lines, but having the Titan in there is pretty cool. But it is called that because it's made of the 5 Mystic Titans, which include the Mystic Phoenix, Mystic Garuda, Mystic Mermaid, Mystic Sprite, and the Mystic Minotaur, of course each representing the different Zords that we'll go through. And overall it looks pretty cool here like this. Of course we have like the standard representation of Zords. We get the 2 arms, the 2 legs. This has a set of wings off the back from one of the Zords. We get the head, which I do like the design because it almost has, you know, like a witch or wizard's hat on it there. So that's really nice. Love that design. And then it's got like the pointy toes on the front of it. I always like that as well. So just a lot of neatness to it, you know, pretty standard for Zords, but made of the different Titans to make the Zord. But with this, as usual, we'll go and disassemble it into the different Titans in this instance, and then we'll, of course, put them all back together. So to start off with this, probably the easiest thing to do is to take pink off first, so the Sprite. And so this, you just kind of want to pop this off the chest. You can just sort of separate it out there a little. You probably go and take, this is all the red Mystic Phoenix here. You could probably just pop that whole thing out, but I just like to do it one by one. So we get this design here. Of course, if you sort of fold that up, you can kind of see we do get the face of a dragon because the Zord also does turn into the Mystic Dragon. So you can kind of do that as well. So we get the dragon head as it's represented, but we'll go ahead and just fold this up. So we get this little section here, we'll completely fold down. And if we spin it around here, we get this section at the bottom, which will become feet. So we can flip that up and then take the back part here and fold it down. And that gives us the body. And then it's a nice little Zord. So it's pretty cool. I think this may be like the smallest Zord or pretty close to it. Actually, probably the Armadillo from Wild Force is probably the smallest, but this is very close to the smallest Zord. And then we can take this, it's kind of like its fairy wings, and sort of fold them back so it kind of has the wing design there, and it can stand up on this design. Of course it's very thin so it can easily fall over and won't stand up the best, but there we have the pink Mystic Sprite, so it looks pretty nice. Of course, as you saw there, it does have the little arms that move back and forth and stuff, but otherwise doesn't really do much besides the feet. You know, could obviously fold up back and forth there, but looks pretty good overall for that. We'll set aside. Then we'll go and do the red Mystic Phoenix. So again, just popping this chest plate off the front. And you just have to kind of just grab the mass and pull it off. It kind of just sticks in there pretty good. So we get the pegs here and then one of the clip pieces there. So clip and 2 pegs in the hole there. So there we got that. We can go and fold the legs down. So the legs just come down from the side. So you just fold those down like that. And that gives us the legs, and they do pop in. So you get little clicks in there. Then the chest plate here, at least the chest of the Zord, is the arm. So you then just have to fold these back, which I know mine's real sticky in the arms. I always feel like I'm going to break it, especially with how old it is and everything, but you can just fold that back there, and there we can see the 2 arms of our Mystic Phoenix, which the Phoenix is really just a 9. I don't know why they call it a Phoenix, maybe just because it's red, but it doesn't look like the Phoenix creature at all. Then we can fold the head up by going around here to the back, opening this red compartment and folding the head up there, so that will give us the head of the knight, which looks pretty decent. Now of course, like this Zord, so the Mystic Phoenix and then the blue and green as well, all should have weapons, which I don't have. I don't think I got it because obviously I bought this Zord used again, and I don't think I had the weapons, which for me, I never really care too much about the weapons unless it's like something really cool. And I do like their weapons, especially that we get the 3 different weapons for those 3 Zords, and then you combine them all together to have a big sword to go for the Megazord. So I don't have that, unfortunately, but you know, like I said, not a big deal for me, but it'd just be cool just to give this knight a sword there as well. But looks pretty cool. Love the red design, all that on the red shoulders and the chest, a little bit of the crotch section there on the legs as well, and the nice head design. Of course, some of the paint's like scratching off and stuff of this, so not the best overall, but still looks really good. Love the gold on the shoulders there, carrying over from the Zord as well. So there we get the red Mystic Phoenix. The next teases from this is probably the Garuda on the back, which the Garuda, I'm not exactly sure. I meant to look up what a Garuda was. I just know it's a bird, like I've heard that before. And so we just get this design in the back. Now, it doesn't really turn into a bird. It turns into another knight, but of course has like a bird head and wing design stuff. So we get the legs there that will fold down, and you twist them forward. I don't know if maybe I'm probably twisting them around the wrong way. Get them twisted around to the front here. Then we can get the head folded up. So with this, we can just kind of open up the chest plate here. This whole section comes up and it works part of the other Zord functions that it does, and the head will float up. Again, another small head there for as big as the Zord is, and then again some of the paint scratching off, so some of like the bird head and everything's not working out the best. And then for the arms, I think we just sort of fold them down to the side, so it's got these big wing like arms there, and that's really all that you have for the Garuda. So again, the yellow Garuda looks good. Love all the yellow designs. Get the big wings that again will have more function for the actual Zords and everything, but looks pretty decent overall. Again, just so weird how small the bird head is on that Zord. Then next up, we'll go with the Mystic Mermaid. So for the Mermaid, it's kind of weird. It's just two pieces attached onto the legs, so you got to pull them off. So we get one on each of the legs there that we got to pull off. Can kind of be kind of difficult there, and we'll just sort of sit this side and have to lay it down there. So we get the two pieces of the mermaid now, and we can connect them together, kind of already unfolding itself there. So we can attach this. So this time the blue, like especially this section, will be in the back, but we get it in the front there as well. And we can connect it up, so we get these different peg pieces that will line up together to hold itself together there. So you can kind of push those in together, and then we can go and turn it around here. Up in this section, we do have the head that we can fold down, so that gives us the head of the Zord. The arms do fold out a little, so we get the two arms there, and then we can fold the legs down. And you can kind of leave like that, so it kind of gives it like a mermaid tail sort of design, but I do believe you are supposed to twist it forward, so if you can kind of go like this and twist it forward to make it more of a real knight's design, and it'll stand up that way, where I believe with the being like the tail version, it won't stand up, but you can have it like that to have it in the mermaid mode there. Like I said, it's kind of more of like a knight of some sort. And that leaves us with the Mystic Minotaur, which in all these are pretty much kind of like knights, I guess you would say. But it starts out in this form once you pull everything off of it. We'll go ahead and start with the hands. So you start with the hands here, and you want to like fold them back a little. So just the hand sections, they'll come unclipped there, and allows you to move that forward. And then we can fold this part back. So again, do this side, go and grab onto it, pull them forward there to reveal the hands, and then fold this part back. And that'll give us the back section there. And then we can sort of spin it around here, and we'll start to be able to see our hands. We can go and flip this around, going from the Megazord hands into the hands of the Minotaur here, and again fold those around into that with the hands forward. Then we can go down to the legs, so we need to give us some bull hooves, so we can fold this down. I believe this just folds all the way up to the back like that, and you just kind of got to get it adjusted till you get the bull feet sort of flat there. So you just fold those down, and then fold the like dragon talons or what they'll be here, and then just continue to adjust them until they set flat. So it looks like that is flat there. If we stand it, yeah, it stands up perfect now. And like I said, if I had the weapon, his is an axe, so we'd be able to put the axe in the hand. But we got to reveal the head now, so we can go ahead and just open up the hat. Now, kind of a little difficult there, but we can open up the hat, and then it twists back as well. So you twist it back there, so we get the bull horns off to the side, and now reveal the bull head as well. So it's like a minotaur, so we get, you know, the humanoid body mixed with a bull there. Looks pretty cool. Still, again, more of a knight form, and it's crazy how big it is compared to the rest of the Zords. So especially like the Sprite and stuff, how small it is compared to the big bull there. But that all looks pretty cool, having our individual forms. And as I said, if I had the weapons, it'd be cool to give the red, green, and blue their different weapons. But as I mentioned, with the Zord, it can then turn into the Mystic Dragon. So doing the Mystic Dragon, it's going to involve all but the red phoenix there. So it'll be all of these turning into a dragon. And just like before, we'll start with our Minotaur. So we got to kind of just sort of fold it up here. It's kind of like really not the easiest thing to do. But we can get the legs folded forward there a little. And we need to get back to the claws. So we need to have the claws here, so they'll be able to form the feet. And again, you just have to kind of get this adjusted and sort of worked out. Like I said, it's not the easiest thing to get this like set up and do properly, and I'm not exactly sure like 100% what it's supposed to look like, but you just got to get the feet adjusted, and it needs to be able to stand more forward like big dragon legs. Actually, I realized I had those in reverse, so we got to do it the opposite way. Get the claw revealed, and then we want them back to the front here. So we want to have them more out to the front like this, or I guess it'd be the back of the Minotaur. So we want to have them more like that. That's what I was doing wrong. I was like, why can't I get these legs to bend forward more? So we want to have them forward like that, or like I keep saying forward, I mean back. So they'd be the back of the Minotaur, and then we can fold the arms around like that, and that'll be the hands of the dragon, which again will be a little bit weird there. And you can sort of get it adjusted like at the knees, especially get them bent a little. Like I said, you just want it to be like a dragon, so however you think a dragon would be posed, like standing up on its legs or whatever, is kind of what you want to have it done, and it'll have to like be angled down a little, so maybe more like in this form here. And that's, I believe, all you do with the Minotaur is just pretty much get the legs and arms folded back. You can go and leave the head like this and everything just the way it is like that. Then we can go ahead and attach the tail, so the mermaid will turn into the tail. So again, with this, we'll just pretty much want to fold the legs back the way they were, like I said, into like the mermaid tail mode like that, and we'll want to go ahead ahead and separate it as well. Just easily pull that apart and get the head hid. And then we're going to attach it with these gray clips here on the back. So we'll go back around to the Minotaur here, and we'll see what would be like the tail section, as you'll obviously be able to figure out. And we'll need to clip this onto each side of it. So on the Minotaur tail, there's these big holes there, and we'll just want to attach these in. Now they'll only attach in like a certain orientation because the rest of the body is hitting, so it kind of sticks up at an angle, I want to say. So like that, and then we can attach it back together pretty much into the mermaid mode as it was. So like that, and it just sort of attaches off. Again, it won't like fold down any more than that. I feel it needs to like fold down a little, but that's as far as it'll go. You can fold it up and everything, but it just sort of hangs off the back like that. And again, with this section, if we had the weapon, we'd put it in sword mode, and you can attach it onto the bottom here to give the tail more of a point. So we don't have much of the point there, so it's just a big wide tail there sticking off the back. And again, if you want to like get this to sit back on the ground, you can readjust it. It's kind of falling back now, but I do want it to sit more forward. Hopefully once we put the rest of the Zord pieces on, it'll sit more forward. Then we can go ahead and take the pink Sprite and we'll turn it into the dragon head. You pretty much already saw the dragon head earlier. It's not that complicated. So go ahead and just fold the back up a little here. We'll go and take this piece and fold it down as much as possible. So just however far it goes there, and then spin around. And we want to create the dragon's head. So just kind of get this all folded up like that. They're creating the head of the dragon. And with these pieces, you can just sort of fold them now. It doesn't really matter what you do with the arms. And then these will be folded back once we get it all situated, creating the dragon head there, which is pretty neat. Now for now, we just need to set this aside because we got to work with the Garuda first. So we got to turn it into the wings, which isn't really that difficult. But then we also got to work with the chest section to be able to get the attachment piece for the dragon here. So we just pop the chest plate out. So you can just grab onto it and pull it up like this. We can switch the bird head back around. So that'll give us the peg there. So that'll give us the piece for the dragon. So that'll be pretty important. Now for the dragon, that'll become the like neck into the head section. We can then, if we want, go ahead and attach the head onto that. So there's a hole there in the Sprite we can attach onto this peg, and it kind of sits at a weird angle to me, but it attaches on like that. And you can get those horns folded back down there a little like that. So there we get the head of the dragon, and then we need to turn the rest of this into wings. We'll just kind of let this flop around here for now. Go and lift the wings up like this, and we'll go ahead and turn them. So we want to have them sticking up, and then fold the legs up. So you'll want to twist them how they were to the front there, twist them to the side and fold them up, and they'll attach with that little black clip into the bottom of the wings. So fold them up there and get them attached in together. Now this is going to be our connection piece onto the dragon. So we want to kind of like lift the head up like this, and then take that connection piece and attach it here into the back of the Minotaur. So that attaches in this clip piece, and then this section also here folds around this section. So the black and the gray there kind of fits into this as well. So it folds in there and then clips in. So that gives us the wings, and then we can fold that head forward. So completely fold this forward. And of course it gives you the dragon head, which again, this is all kind of weird and awkward. I don't think it's the best design for a dragon or what it's supposed to be. You know, that's what you're supposed to do with it, but I just think it doesn't look too good. And to finish out the wings, we need to unfold them as well. So we can fold the wings out here and have them out to the side. So again, they do extend out, which you're supposed to have them extended on like the Megazord and stuff, but I always leave them folded up just for space and everything. So that gives us a nice wingspan there for the dragon as well. And that's pretty much the complete dragon. Like I said, it's kind of awkward here with the head, but yeah, this is what it's supposed to look like. Like I said, there's supposed to be the weapons attached on to extend the tail out there, but that's really all that the dragon is. But what's cool about the dragon is then you can take that Mystic Phoenix, so the red, and attach it onto, again, I keep hitting this and it's falling over. It's not very sturdy at all. It needs to be like bent forward a little more, it seems, but then it's too far forward. So it's like I can't find the perfect balance of where it will stand. Just a lot of awkwardness here. There, maybe leave it like that will work out. And if you didn't see, this black piece does clip in behind these little clips there, so it kind of keeps that from flopping around as much. You still have the lower neck section there you can sort of work around with and move. So there it seems to be standing a little more sturdy now if you're messing with the feet. But then we can take our Mystic Phoenix here, bend the legs forward like it's going to be sitting, and maybe at a little bit of an angle there like it's going to be riding onto it. Get its hands up as well so it can be like it's holding on. And then you'll take these clips here on the bottom of its legs and attach them into the clip piece there, would be on like the front cod piece of the Minotaur. So you just attach them right in there and that will hold it on. So although it's hard to see, there we have the Mystic Dragon all put together now, being ridden by the red Phoenix. So that is pretty cool. So nice design. Like I said, doesn't look the best, not really the best Zord design that there is, but I do think it's cool turning into a dragon like that. And of course with the large wings and everything, looks pretty cool overall. But then we can turn it back into our normal Titan Megazord. Now a lot of this we just kind of need to undo just a little bit of it. It's not like too crazy or anything. So with this, we can definitely pop the Sprite off the front here from the head, so don't need that for the dragon head anymore. Go ahead and take the Mystic Phoenix off as well. Don't need him riding on that. We'll have to turn both of those back into the chest plate. Pop the Mermaid off the tail. Don't need that anymore. And then for the rest of this, we can probably just kind of leave most of it and adjust it from here. So for the Garuda, since it's already attached onto the back, all we really need to do is just fold this piece down and back there like that. So it's really all you need to do for that. You can leave it just like that. Get this standing back up. So with the Minotaur, pretty much get it standing back up. And then we'll want to make sure we get the feet folded back here. So we'll want to have the feet folded around like that. Then we can go ahead and pull the arms back. So go ahead and fold those back, and then we can actually reconnect the arms. So again, just fold those down. Get this flipped back around to the fist mode and sort of like line them up here together. So it's usually like sort of like sticking straight out like that for the arm. You just sort of push it back till it gets as close to that as possible. And as you do this, you then push the hand forward to be able to get this clip piece in there. So it will be able to connect just like that. So again, fold it down, get the hand flipped around to the fist there, push it in till it meets up there, and then fold the hand forward to get it popped in, and make sure the shoulders are just folded out there for the chest plate. We can go ahead and fold the head of the Minotaur back up. So fold the hat up there, or the horns I should say, into the hat, and lift that up to reveal the face of the Megazord. So that's most of all that. We'll go ahead and attach the feet so that we can go ahead and get this to stand up. So again, we just take the Mermaid. Don't really do much to it at all. Just kind of leave it here, get the feet folded back up like this, and then we attach it onto the Megazord on the front of the legs. And you want to make sure you have like these gray pieces sticking out to the side. If not, they'll meet in the middle and sort of clash like this, so that won't work out. So you have to make sure they're on the outside. So here we have the Zord legs. So you'll want to just get this attached. It just sort of like connects on. So it has like these grip pieces on here that sort of connect around the circles. And then there's this piece that line up here in the bottom that go onto the back of the feet. So that's kind of how you get it all lined up together, and just sort of push it on. It'll clip right on there. And again, do the same thing with this side. Get the bottom sections lined up and the top will clip on. So those clip right on there, giving us the feet now of the Zord, so that I'll keep it standing. So I wanted to get that done. Then we'll go ahead and reconnect up the Mystic Phoenix along with the Mystic Sprite. So again, with this, we just want to make sure the legs are straight since we had them in the riding mode. And then we'll just want to disconnect them and fold them up to the side. So you just kind of got to pop them out there and fold them up to the side with the legs. So get those legs popped up and just fold around to the back. Go and get the arms folded down and brought forward as well. Get arms folded down and then pop that piece out of the arm and get it folded forward just like that. And we can get rid of the head as well. So again, open this right compartment on the back, fold the head down and pop that back up. So there we got that. Now it works also with the legs a little bit better as well. And those fold forward just like that. So sort of kicking into like what were the shoulders. Then we can attach the Sprite into it. So with this, we pretty much already have it. It's already in the mode using it in the dragon head as it was there. And we can connect this in between. And this sort of lines up with the design there, of course, with the big like M design on it, but then with the shape of the head sort of fits in there. And then there's clips on each side that clip it there together, and go and leave these horns like folded forward and attach it onto the chest. So again, we get a clip down here and two pegs that need to go into the clip section and the two holes there. So you gotta get those all lined up and pushed together. So that all connects there, and then just get this head slid back down and sort of clamps it all together and fold the horns back, and they will go to the side of the head there. So each of those will go back there, finishing up our Zord. And of course, we can make sure the wings are sort of adjusted in however we want them there, sticking out to the side. Like I said, for me, I usually have them folded up just to save space, but that's what our Mystic Force Titan Megazord fully looks like there. So like I said, overall, pretty neat design. I like all the individual things, you know, the Phoenix, Garuda, Mermaid, Sprite, and Minotaur. I like all those different things, especially being like creatures or whatever, even though they all just look like knights. And overall, the Zord is pretty decent. Just some different weird stuff about this, you know, having the red and pink all in like this chest section together is kind of different than having the blue come apart and just attach onto the front of the legs. I haven't really noticed too many Zords in the past that work like that, but overall it works out and looks pretty nice for a Megazord. So once again, if you had this Megazord when you were a kid, let me know down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with that like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to see more videos, and I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.